Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. I'm so excited to be here. It's Melissa and Dr. Thomas with Consciousness Conversation. We did take the holiday week off, so I hope you're all doing well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're here watching on the replay, please hashtag replay. And so, how are you?
I'm well. I don't know why I'm so dark. Like, if I move back, I get lighter. Oh, look at that.
It did too. Yeah, it did.
Let me try something here. We're having
Okay.
fun with lighting.
Lighting,
Maybe I need a new ring light. I
Hey,
probably
we're
do.
talking about energy today, so that almost really works out.
Doesn't it? We're trying something different. I'm putting the light is broken, so it's not on connected to the.
Oh.
It's like not connected to the thingamajabber. Anyways,
Whatever you just did help. Not so much.
putting it in front of the camera so you can't see me. That could help too. Or let's hang it on the Christmas tree. No, that doesn't work. It needs to be higher.
Hello, Cynthia. Hello.
Well, I play around with this. Everyone say hi. How you doing?
Yeah, say hello. Let us know you're here. Thank you for being here. So yeah, it wasn't too surprising to me that you chose so for those of you who don't know, we literally we throw a comment to each other, hey, what do you want to talk about, and then we just usually go with whoever has the idea. And so this morning I threw the comment to Dr. Thomas and he came up with this topic, and it didn't surprise me when he came up with it, because in the past couple of days I've been feeling the energy shift and energies coming at us, and really Cynthia, save your bloopers. So the energies of it had been coming up. We've been getting bombarded with these lighter light codes, light energy, and so that's really been making us feel our density. As the light codes come in, it really does force our density kind of up and into our field for us to feel it so that it can be released. And so interesting that this is what we landed on to talk about. And just to throw it out there, we're also in now Mercury retrograde. So lots of energies bringing stuff up.
Yes. I'm sharing this out real fast, so give me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries. So for those of you, again, I'm nothing more than an armchair astrologer. So if you're really wanting to know more about astrology, the planetary alignments, how they affect you personally, looking at your natal chart, you're going to want to find an astrologer. But in Mercury retrograde, it really does bring back things to be re-looked at or reorganized or released, any of those re's. So, if you're really feeling like it's coming up in the next, I believe this is a pretty significant amount of time this time. I think it's almost 2 weeks. Then you really want to look at, what is coming up, and not that it's about getting, especially for those of you that are coming up and back into a relationship, hurts, relationship, woulda, coulda, shouldas, because it's coming back up. It's not about a reconnection, but it's about the release. And so for those of you that are really being brought back to some idea or some feeling or some awareness of a past relationship, be very discerning about why it's coming up. Is it coming up because it's time to let it go so that you can let in something new, which is probably for the majority of you what is happening? Very few people it'll be about reconnection. So be discerning. And I really feel like in 2022, discernment was the big theme, learning what discernment is, using discernment in your own life. And as we go forward, it's going to continue to be one of the major themes in 2023, being discerning about collective energy, being discerning about things that you're seeing in the media, social media, being discerning about what you're being brought to in your own life. Very, very important. Hello, Jacqueline. Welcome.
And there we go. So, for those that don't know, and many of you do know, but when you watch this and you listen to this, it's on at different times. It's on whenever it is that you're ready to watch and listen. It's not about the actual moment that we are in right now in this space, because it's about whenever you are listening, whenever you're participating in whatever it is. I share that because I want to share an understanding of what we say stepping into the new energy over the old. We've said this before. We are in a different energy. It is funny because I went for a run right before this. And at the end of the run, I just, whatever I was thinking, I'll call it for me, it was more of a jog. All right. Just above walking, I guess I would call it for myself. But it hit me. There have been plenty of times we both listen to Lee Carroll and cry in his channels and follow along with that. And I'm going to say this just to say it the right how it is. Like, there are times I'll see things, hear things before he says it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was talking to someone today, and I was giving an analogy of ships. And next thing I know, I finally listened to his Circle of 12 last night, and he used an analogy of the ships. I'm like, we did the same thing analogy. I just did it before I heard it from him. I'm like, oh, look at that. We're on the same page. And even in his first meditation, he was talking about 2022 and then 2023. And I was having this vision. And then when I had this vision, I wasn't sure what it meant. And all of a sudden he said something like, oh shoot. And now I know what it means. I just saw what he was going to say. There has been a shift. And I want to give this example of the difference between the old energy and the new energy. Prior to even my shift that happened in 2022, believe it or not, 2022 was a catalyst year, a year of change, a year of duality. That was 2022, okay? A revelation year, but it was a year of duality with the cosmic number of that, working at the duality, but there was a catalyst. A catalyst on the duality was happening in 2022. And that is what was going on. And to me, that all started in February. February is like it's weird. You got the Chinese New Year. It's a little different. There are ways of doing things and new ways of doing it. So an old way of doing energy, an old way of working. If you wanted to protect your house, what people would often say is you got to get a black obsidian, a selenite, a few other crystals, put them at your four corners, put salt by your doors, and you say those that are not for my highest good, those who want pure intentions, they cannot enter this house. And people will do that, and they'll see people coming up to the door, walk away, come up the door, walk away. Okay? But that's the old way of doing it. Because you're focusing on one, crystals having these extra amplifying energy that is around you. You're focusing on the darkness. You're focusing on that which is not serving your highest good and protecting it from you, which is a good thing. Last week, this happened to me. I had someone coming over. I had these feelings that were just not right. And I don't know why, but I did. My first thought was, oh, what protection should I put around my house? And then I said, wait a minute. That's not how it's done anymore. That's not how we should do it. So instead, I called upon my galactic family. I called upon my guides around me. And what we did is very simply, we put light around the house. Mm-hmm. We shone light, and at the entrances to the house, we put an extra ray of healing. So all that would enter my doors, enter into the house, would first go through a healing. A healing that they would need. A healing that mean that when they came in the house, only that of the pure and love and lights coming into the house. Now, when they come in, they're in. Now, in this case, someone came in and they needed an extra healing, because what that did is that actually opened them to it. In that case, it it took the bond that it had with its shadow self and made it farther, stretched it to where I could come in and take it away and remove that weight that was being unbalanced. Um, but it's about inviting in with love and light and not keeping away with darkness. Because when we think about it and we bring in light and we shine our own light, what we are doing is far more powerful, far more potent, far more in line with the way the universe works right now than it is when we're working with protection and trying to prevent. Because we're not sharing our love and light at that point. We are now casting out. Almost we are what we are doing for what you are doing is you're casting out the darkness in you. And you're putting that up and saying, Waha, see now that we are protecting ourselves and we are forbidding you from having the light. We are hiding it from you and we are keeping you at bay. We are saying no to you. We are saying, in that case, you are saying no to the love inside of you. And you're now using the wrong energy and the wrong parts of you to live. And you're sitting back like, I did it. And you're having this like, I've got the power. I keep these people away from me. I am enlightened, but you are not. What you are doing is you're judging. You ready for that? You are judging. And you are saying, I am better than you. You are saying that I have these tools and these scripts and these potions and these ways of doing things that I know, and you must listen to me and do it my way. When the reality is, and people are not going to like this, the reality is, when you come across in the love and the light, that way requires no formal training, no formal practice, ritual, or just now. Let me be very clear with this. Very, very, very clear. We are not saying that not having a ritual, not having a ceremony, not having an intention is not right. We are saying putting all that into your practice is very helpful for so many because it helps focus you, give you the intention, give you the belief that you need. I talked to a friend today about the spell book, and she was talking about the spell book for something, and it was not, oh no, don't do that. It was wonderful because what it does, it gives that person the belief that what they are doing in love and light is going to work in love and light and bring love and light across to that which is there. And so, having these practices, going to those for guidance, out of love, listening and putting into those rituals out of love, burning the paper out of love, putting things out there out of love and light is so beautiful. And no matter how you do it, it is right. But when you do it out of protection, out of fear of what could come in, you are not doing it out of love. You are sending the fear part of your shadow self out there to stand guard. And it is not the way it should be done anymore. That is how it went into, oh, now, if you just smile and say love and light to those that come in, we heal you as you walk into these doors. And that is a simple way. You take a crystal and you give it to someone. It no matter what the crystal is, whatever your intention is, you give to it. You're giving it your energy. We talked about this with karma 2 weeks ago. We really did. We talked about karma. Karma was the past. It pushed us. It's like the shadow stuff I'm talking about now. We're putting the shadow stuff out. But now what it is we are the energy. We push it out. It's a different way of thinking, a different way of operating, a different way because you're coming from light and love. And you're not coming from a fear of what could happen if that thing comes into our house. If we come across something that is not for our highest and gains good. Because to the truth be told, if you come across it and you feel like, oh my goodness, something is near me that should be near me, it is simple as calling the light and the highest grade. It's good to come for you and remove all of that's not for the highest grade. It's good from you and it leaves. It can be so simple. But that is the difference in energy. The difference, if I'm going to say it in a simple phrase, very simple. The old energy is truly more fear-based than we can ever recognize. Because it is about that fear. And the new energy about love. And here's a great thing. This is what he heard today, the light and all this stuff. This is what he heard today in the meditation. He saw it. Brian was talking about the 2022. And the focus of that was the 22, the catalyst number, the cosmic law of duality. And then you put the 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. That is the change. We're going to the 3 2s of the catalyst. We're going to this harmony, this peace, this catalyst. All this is happening all along this cosmic law of love and light and darkness and the shadow self. But what we do is we enter 2023. What so many of us always do, which is not what we need to do, is we are doing the old energy ritual. And we are remembering all those things that happened that were not good for us, that we say are bad or wrong, that happened to us that we don't want and we did not like. But what we're doing is we're collecting them, putting them in a bag, putting them over our shoulder and saying, all this happened in 2022, and I'm now going to walk into 2023 with it out at my shoulder, and I'm going to bring it with me. Hell no. You don't do that. You do the opposite. This is how he saw it. He saw a lion with some people, and the lion of 2022, you can see it circling around, and it pounced on one, but it was a playful pounce. But when you looked at it, the perspective where it was this love and harmony was coming in. The lion with the people, the lion was being petted and being loved. But all around were these petals and flowers. And these petals of beautiful colors and flowers were being put into a bag. And that bag was being closed. And that bag of these beautiful flowers, that is what we are bringing with us to 2023. It was a bag of flowers, these good things, all the wonderful things that happened to you this year, you put into the bag for yourself. And you put it over your shoulder. And you walk into 2023 with that. And what you're doing now is you're bringing in the new energy of the love and the light that you experienced with you to continue that growth. Because what will happen next year for those that bring that would be unimaginable, something they could not fathom, and so wonderful. But now it starts at what will you bring with you? What will you remember? What will be important to you? The old stuff, the fear-based, the woe is me. Or the love and the light that was just so wonderful. The little things, the good things that happened to this year. If you bring that in, you will see and feel and walk much more easily into this new energy. Okay.
Beautiful.
There's that.
Beautiful.
I'm just gonna sit here and smile. You can talk.
No, that was beautiful. And, I think that, if we can all put that into practice, because sometimes I don't think that we do allow ourselves enough grace to recognize what is good, what has been good, where we have shined, what we have learned, what we have gained. We're always focusing on the negative. We're so stuck in that, fear-based energy of the past that it's easier sometimes to get caught up in that. And so I think it's so important to allow yourself time and grace to recognize where you've been, what you've accomplished, what you've walked through, what the blessings are, and then you're able to take them forward with you. And it's very beautiful. Yeah, I love it. Joanna, nice work. Thomas, you have some spring water. You worked hard. And Cynthia is saying that was absolutely beautiful. And Darlene saying super message. You're going to have to watch it again. And I agree. I think this is definitely going to be one of those that's going to be really a good one to watch again and again. So that was definitely a beautiful message. But
So you can send love and light to anyone. So let me use my analogy of what happened last week when this person was invited in. But when they came in, they had to go through the light to come in. It's even those that are full of that. So I talk about the word balance. Balance is not what we think. Balance isn't an even scale. That is not the balance. That is the old thinking balance, okay? Yes, when we come into this expression, we come into this life, we come in with all this light, and our shadow self comes in with it. The shadow self does not exist outside of this realm, outside of this humanity. It's not. It is only here on this planet, connected to your life when you come in. Every expression the shadow life connects with you, it does not go off. This is your shadow self. This is not, let me repeat, this is not what people would call dark entities, low vibrational things. This is not that. This is the duality inside of you that is their free choice that comes out there. Balance is not 50-50, dark and light, balancing inside you. That is old thinking balance. Balance is 95-5. And as you grow, the balance can get even more skewed. So a lot of people are at 50 or even the wrong side. They're higher in the one and lower in the other. But as you grow that light, and the more you be in the light, the more the balance comes back to where it should be, where it's supposed to be, where it's going to end up being closer to that 99-1. Because the light is really what is our true natural state. So if someone comes in with the higher balance. So someone comes in. This happened with me. It's happened the other. If someone comes in with a higher, dark, low vibrational balance, so the balance is off in that regard, send them love and light. You're not going to see right away. You might not see the impact. You might not see the switch or the change right away. What it does is imagine something's got a grip on you or on something. You're giving you a big bear hug. If you wiggle, the grip loosens. So when you're sending love and light to someone, when someone's walking through a barrier of white light, of pure light for healing, what is happening? Even though they might not see it, they might not be able to get it, you're hitting their soul. You are shaking and vibrating their body. Vibrating, get that? You're vibrating their body. You are loosening the grip of whatever shadow self, or if it's an entity, whatever is holding on to it. It doesn't mean it's released and going to go right away. Some more work sometimes needs to get done. Sometimes you do need, I don't like using the word more powerful, but you need a more intentional wisdom to be part of the process, the healing, whatever needs to happen. But if you can vibrate that off and it loosens it, now the grip is loosened. They might still be holding the shoulders, but they're not holding their arms around together. They're holding that person's shoulders as an analogy. Now you come in with a different energy. They come in with a healing energy and whack that it can be knocked off. And the scales then can quickly jump. Now, in that case, when that person leaves that space, now it's up to them and how they want to proceed, because they can invite it back. And then the grip comes right back on them. So it's not a permanent, it is a process of healing for a person, for a human, when they are able to get that. It's like shedding, but it doesn't go away until the human is fully at that point where the light is truly a dominating factor, where there might be some drips in the light, but it doesn't go down enough to even let the darkness come forth and the lower vibration hold on again. So I don't know if that makes any sense. I've never used that analogy before in my life. Once again, see, you're getting a double of dose here. You're getting the channel the one way, you're getting the channel the other way. But it is how that works. And it is how simple it can be. So send someone light. And you might have to send them light 1,000,000 times. And it might not happen because they might not want it. That's their choice. If they're not open to receiving the light, and even if their soul gets it and the soul can't transmute it in because whatever is a hold of that person is just not going to let it happen, that's their choice. That's their path. That's their life.
So Jacqueline's asking, some people say that darkness is as important as the light. What do you say about that?
I've heard that. Because you can't have light without darkness. Blah, blah, blah. Once again, what is happening right now? Okay. Shit, we talked about this a few weeks ago. Oh no, we hit into here. He talked about it. I channeled it a month ago. The purpose. All right. People hate. I hate the word saying purpose for humanity, purpose for a person. There's a difference here. I'm going to be very clear. There is a purpose for all humanity. Each human has an agenda, not a purpose, an agenda. An agenda for their life of things they want to accomplish. You can call it a purpose, but it's really an agenda. The purpose is a much grander thing. The purpose is for humanity. The purpose starts off with the fact that we must have light and darkness to reach our purpose. However, the old energy, this is a perfect segue. See, you can start smiling there, Melissa. The perfect segue of the old energy and the new energy. In the old energy, the whole point of that was for us to learn unconditional love as a species, as a being, as a planet. Unconditional love, because the love that comes to us is unconditional and it is unbiased. So that's what I think. Unconditional, unbiased love. The love of the universe is biased. And to expand the universe, to expand the growth of everything in this universe, biased love won't do it alone. Unbiased, unconditional love, which can only be created through the knowledge and understanding of what the low vibrational darkness is. And so we had to go through multiple centuries, multiple times of lives, of expressions of the low, of the dark, to get us to a point where we understand what it truly means to have an unbiased, unconditional, true love in the balance of our lives. And as we step through and we are in this new energy that came a couple decades ago and really came forth in 2012 and is really about to explode, as we come forth more in this energy, it is no longer about needing the darkness because we've experienced it. We've overcome it. It will always be part of us, but now it's about learning to live in the light and to shine that light out, because that is our unconditional, unbiased choice that we have learned through hundreds of thousands of expressions to get us to this point. And now when we can tap into it, we don't need the low dark anymore, because we understand the power of this unbiased love that we have created.
Beautiful. Guys, we're going to have to leave it there today. So we will be back.
Armor of God. Okay. The armor of God, all that stuff is old energy. That is all old energy. All that protection is all old energy. That's what I'm getting at. I can literally say to myself, I should throw you. All right. You won't say it this way. You can say to yourself, put around me the light of God. Put around me the light of just pure love, gold, white light. Put it around me, and only that for my highest good is here within me. I need to cleanse myself with this pure gold light. Whatever you want, you can do that, and that is that. It's not an arm. It's no longer there. If you are in a high light, if you're in a high vibration, the low cannot get to you, because it needs much lower light. It can't survive in the light. And so it needs you to be a much different way. So the armor, yes, you look at that. You think about the armor of the story of Michael Thomas in The Journey Home, the armor that was placed on him. That was needed. We were in a new energy when it was written, but we were in an old energy mentality. So you had to understand it that way. That armor is already within us. That light is always within us. You shine that light out with you. It is more, it's not like an armor. It is a beam of light that's just going to bring light to people instead of protecting yourself from those around you. It's more of like being on the offensive. I'm giving you light instead of hovering back in fear of what you could do to me.
Thank you. All right, guys. Thank you so much. for those questions. Those were great questions. Thank you for that great conversation. We're going to continue it next week, Thursday at 3:30. Looking forward to seeing each and every one of you there. More information on Dr. Thomas in the description box for his YouTube channel. And as always, my website is also in the link. So have a beautiful rest of your day, and we'll talk soon. Bye, guys.